Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cosmic Panel, where today we're going to be discussing Season 4. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be spoiling a lot, so please, if you have not watched the season, go turn off this video, go check out the season, and yeah, we're going to talk about the show.
There's a lot to spoil, so
yes,
if you
there's a
care,
lot to spoil.
go see it because there's no way to talk about it without spoiling stuff.
Yeah. So I think this is my okay. So overall, what did you think of the season?
I thought it was really solid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say perfect.
Yeah, I
There
would
were
say
things
the
that
first half is like a little bit shaky at times.
Yeah, and it almost, I'm like looking at the episode list right now. I almost, like, not almost, I do wish that it was longer. And I wish that, because there's some episodes that, I guess we can get into the specific ones later, but there's some episodes that feel like they could be stretched out almost and developed more.
I mean, there's certain episodes that should have probably been a little bit longer, honestly.
Yeah. But I think overall it's very solid, and I like that they seem to be there's less filler. It doesn't seem like it, but there is less filler, which is kind of nice.
I was gonna say though, like. Episode 3 was just pure filler.
I think it's,
I mean, it's fully new material that they didn't have. Have you read the comics?
No, I have not.
So all the Hellboy stuff, like all that, completely new. None of that was in the comic at all.
Oh, the Hell stuff? Oh, that was episode 4.
Oh, sorry, episode 4.
That's so crazy because that's kind of the one that I was thinking should have been longer.
Really? I thought that was such a filler episode.
I think they should have it broken up into 2, and I think because that episode is actually so important for Mark's character development, I feel like I thought it was in the comics because it felt very significant in that the whole lesson of like sometimes you do gotta do bad things because it's just the only way to save people and it's the only way to get things done. Sometimes you gotta torture the weird, whatever it's called, I don't remember what they're called, but you gotta torture the evil monsters just so that everyone doesn't die. Sometimes you gotta do that. And I think, and like Mark going into that is very, the first 3 episodes is struggling so much with like, oh, I kill people and I gotta fight and I'm a bad guy and I'm a Viltrumite, and that's very much like making him
it just felt like such a nothing threat to Mark in a lot of ways. Like that was the unfortunate thing, was that like, and I think this is something that Robert Kirkman is very, very like not great at, to be fair, is like keeping the scale of power in check a lot of the time.
That was one criticism I have for the entire season, where it's like,
because like he can punch through like all this stuff, but then like something will like grab onto him and like throw him across the room, and it's like, well, okay,
yeah,
which is like, it's fine to have inconsistencies, but like if you're then being like this, if you're then power scaling within your own story, being like, this is the strongest Viltrumite, we're stronger than the other Viltrumites, like you're then power scaling in your own story, you kind of have to be like a little bit more specific about that, you know? If you're saying like one Viltrumite is equal to like one planet's worth of defenses, like,
yeah. And then the later half of the season, when they're really all fighting Viltrumites, the scale goes all absolutely wonky, where power scaling's kind of a weird thing where sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks, like it really harms the story. But this is very much a show that holds power scaling to such a great importance and then seem to forget it sometimes with they're like, oh, we need strong stuff to fight Viltrumites, and then halfway through they're like, nah, none of this matters.
So with the way you said episode 4 about like Mark realizing that sometimes you have to do bad to do good, like I get that, but like there's a later arc in the series that I'm not going to spoil that involves Dinosaurus that is very much that, but done way better, like significantly better, to the point where like that is like regarded by a lot of fans as like one of the favorite post Viltrumite War arcs, because it's bonkers. It gets bonkers. Yeah. I'll say that. I'm excited for it because it might be one of the main points of season 5. I'm hoping so, because it will be interesting. Which they introduced Dinosaurus this season.
Yeah.
So
that was interesting. Like that's one of those things that I could tell that was something that's going to be significant and something from the comics. But when he shows up, it's just sort of like,
okay,
who the hell is this guy now?
Yeah.
Like,
no, and I love he's very much a Hulk type of situation where like alter ego, but his regular alter egos, instead of it being smart, is just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just such a funny, like, he's
dichotomy.
good with like the twists on characters like that,
Yeah,
where everyone has some sort of Hulk, Jekyll and Hyde character, but that's a good twist on it.
but episode 3 also felt a little bit weird.
That was the one with the dragon again, right?
Yeah, with the dragons. But like I will say I wanted more of the Flaxen Dimension stuff more than anything else. I think that was honestly what I wanted to take priority over the dragon stuff.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they're
That doesn't build up to
pushing that
something
to
in the
next
comic.
season.
That isn't like the whole, sorry, not the Flaxen stuff. The like whole like League of Evil like mob bosses. That isn't something that like
okay.
leads to something in the comics.
Yeah, I thought you meant the Flaxens are the other dimension
Oh,
stuff,
the
right?
Flaxens definitely lead to something.
Yeah. I was like,
100%.
I think they're just pushing that to be, especially with the ending of episode 8, that they're definitely like maybe even going to do a whole or like half a season just on that.
Oh boy,
I feel like I don't know exactly. I know it's significant. I know enough about the comic stuff that it's like very significant, but I think the question is the way that they're going to have it play out in a season.
I just think the Flaxen Dimension should have been like a more all-out invasion. Like in the comics, like it's a lot more of a desperate play by Robot, where it's like it's a very genuinely like people start fucking dying, people start like shit starts going down. They're throwing everyone at the wall. Like the thing with the comics versus like the TV show is that like Invincible was in the Image comic universe. it was like here's Spawn. Like all these guys fighting. So when there was a threat that was beating them, it was like, well, fuck. Okay, well, this is really bad. Versus like this, where it's like you got the Guardians of the Glove, which don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but they're not beating Al Simmons' Spawn in any fight anytime soon. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Do you think they could beat the Mark as a Viltrumite?
What do you mean?
The Guardians of the Globe, the current roster? I don't think so. I think they would get their shit mollywopped. I think maybe Robot would have like maybe like one thing up his sleeve, but other than that,
yeah, I think maybe Robot, maybe Monster Girl, because she seems
so?
she seems. The problem is that she seems like approaching as tough and strong as Mark, but.
Well, she's hit her max basically because the belt basically, because as she gets older, the troll gets older, and gets weaker. So like her whole thing is like it gets stronger as she becomes younger.
And I think the problem also is that she doesn't she's not. I don't want to say she's not clever enough, but she to fight Mark, as we see with everyone, all the anyone fighting Viltrumites and Cecil and everyone.
Brute strength doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. You need to be skilled and smart as well. And I don't think that there's anyone on the Guardians that could do it. I mean, also they couldn't do Omni-Man, and
and Mark is just as strong, if not more, at this point than Omni. Well, the Omni-Man at that point in the story, I think.
I think just looking at the episode list right now,
the first half of the season is where I think most of my problems are. I think the back half of the season should have been spread out more. Straight up.
Yeah, I think
the entire season should have been just the Viltrumite War.
There's an issue with this show, is that it feels so weird to say. And I'm, I watch anime here and there. I'm not the biggest anime fan, but I see a lot of people be like, well, anime does this better and the animation is better in animes and they have more episodes and all this. And I hate to they're right. Like a year out, we get the animation isn't any better. We get still 8 episodes. There is some filler. There is. You're right.
Yeah.
There's at least. I mean, even if I'm try to argue that episode 4 episode 4 isn't filler. There's still at least there's still at least 2 or 3 other ones that are filler.
Yeah.
It's still almost half the season, even if I give them the benefit of the doubt. And it just feels like at this point, look, we know it's Amazon. We know you've got the money, and I know it's not easy to do a show like this.
But this is your big thing at this point.
It's your big thing, and we're getting into the, we're leaving the, haha, Mark's a superhero, fighting crap. We're getting into the big, galactic war type of thing, and it feels like you gotta start treating it with a little bit more respect, I feel like.
Yeah.
I've been seeing, there's a trend, I don't know if you've been seeing on Instagram, where people just redraw Eve. People got mad that Eve is wearing the same outfit in every single episode, pretty much.
No, I haven't seen that.
and they just redraw it because people were like, "Oh, but it's not animation friendly." And then there's actual animators like redrawing animation friendly outfits that are simple. It's just like give her a sweatshirt instead or something like that. Things like that combined with the filler and the episode, like how many episodes and stuff, it does feel to me like we're starting to get weighed down a little bit by our own like how they're making the show.
So let's talk about the back half of the season, the Viltrumite War. What did you think? So I will say the episode that I think is the single best episode of the season is definitely it's definitely Give Us a Moment, which is the
Yeah,
one
that's
where Conquest makes Mark into a spaghetti bowl.
yeah.
And then but like I think what really makes that good is not just that. It's and it might have moved a little bit too fast in my opinion, but like all the stuff on Earth was so interesting. Like it was one of the few times where I was like, I'm fully invested in every single scene because like there's so much at stake. There's so much that we're setting up. Like Eve's pregnancy, we're setting up. We're setting up Debbie and Nolan's first meeting since the fucking Chicago incident. Like
Mhm.
which that was so fucking good. Oh my god. You know what's crazy? The amount of people that have been fucking like trying to like forgive Nolan, quote unquote, being like, Nolan should be forgiven for it's like, bro, he killed fucking like 4,000 people. He literally did a 9/11, my guys.
Yeah, like that's and
Not only did he do a 9/11, but he caused like basically the premier superhero group to be dead, which caused even more deaths.
yeah, and I like through the season again, especially the latter half when he's around more often. You get people telling him that, like they're
Yeah,
like, "Dude, you can't," like because he keeps trying, and he's like, "But I'm trying," and they're like, "Trying is great. It's good that you're." I think it's the last episode with
with
where he's
Cecil.
talking to Cecil,
Yeah,
and Cecil's like, he's like, "I'm
died
sorry if it."
4,500
Yeah, he's like,
more
"If it
times.
matters, I'm sorry." He's like, "Yeah, it does. It does matter, but it doesn't fix it." You
And
know?
then Omni-Man's like, I've almost died. And he's like, cool, die 4,552 times more. And
Yeah,
then we'll
it's
call
like
it even.
you can't like trying to change and trying to rehabilitate and be a good guy. Awesome, amazing, but it's a constant effort. It's not a
Yeah.
all right, I'm good now,
No, and
and
I will
I'm glad that
say,
they're reminding him.
this is something that the comics missed completely. Like, it is one of the big things that a lot of people were worried about going into the season. In the comics, Debbie drops Paul immediately and starts dating Nolan again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad. It's
I
bad.
was wondering about that because when they come back and there's a time skip,
Debbie is barely a character in the comics.
yeah, they come back and there's a time skip and they're like, "Oh, me and me and Paul, we broke up or whatever." Like it felt a little awkward. So I was actually going to ask you about that. If
Yeah. So in the
such a
comics, she
time
she
skip,
basically just dumps him immediately and was like, no. But in the comics, like, she's what she is straight up. This is 95% of her character development. She's an alcoholic. That's it. That's it. Like that's her the entire time. Like, and it sucks because the show version of her is so fucking good. Like it's so good. Oh my god, it's like it's night
yeah,
and day of a
it's awesome.
difference. Like she genuinely, she delivered my favorite performance this season with that fucking monologue against Nolan, being like, I missed you. I was like, you missed me. I missed you, and it was like we had everything. It was like, god damn it,
Yeah,
it's so fucking, man. But
they do a good job
no, they
with
do.
her. Like with her being basically brand new, it's like that's one of those that like they're killing it. Keep up with that.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what they do next season because this has made me. This was a season where a lot of people were worried. A lot of people were worried because most of the other stuff had like followed like her like basic plot beats, but like added a lot of flavor, added a lot of stuff to it that made her so good. But this
Mhm.
was like one of those things where it's like if we follow this major plot beat, it's gonna ruin her entire character in like one fell swoop. So a
Yeah.
lot of people were like, "Are we sticking to the comics and doing this awful thing, or are we just not going to have her get together with him?" Period.
Yeah, like it's bad enough her not being a character in the comics, but now they made her one and it would be like ruining the character that they made. Like
Yeah,
if she was never a character in the show, if she was the same as the comics where she was just drunk all the time, it would suck, but less than if they did that now.
yeah, we care about Debbie. Like we care about her personal life. Like, we see scenes of her and Paul, and I'm not immediately like boring.
Last season wasn't Ray
Yeah, Ray. Yeah,
basically brand
Shrinking
new.
Ray.
Like
Yeah,
they're pretty
fully brand
good.
new.
And I saw some people
They
like
gender swapped her. made her an
Yeah.
actual like important character. She gets killed like by during that. So the Cobra thing where they get swallowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually dies during.
Oh wow.
There's
Okay.
no there's no like surprise. Like he just
Yeah.
dies. Like that's it.
Yeah. I think I heard people saying that with Tech Jacket. I know Tech Jacket was not the Tech Jacket that we
Sorry, I've
got.
been seeing so many memes of.
Yeah, I have too. That's why I was like, I know that's not the same.
uh,
But honestly, I
uh,
think
no,
they
no,
did a
no.
good job with her
It's
too in the
so
show.
funny being like
Yeah.
Tech Jack. Like we must. Filter was promised to us 2,000 years ago. But yeah, that episode though, I think could have like the entire episode could have been on Earth, and I would have been fine with that. And
Yeah.
then the next episode is them on the spaceship, and then Conquest fight.
That's what I mean by like the pacing is kind of weird sometimes. Some episodes feel like they
2
could have been
episodes
longer.
jammed. Into
The same
one.
with I think the other thing is Herm was definitely a filler episode in terms of animation
Oh yes.
where you skip all the fights for like the just bits and like cutaways and all that stuff. And that's part of why I'm like, they could have split that into 2 episodes and make it, instead of just like one filler episode, make it an arc. Make it Mark goes to hell and he learns some important lessons about life, you know?
I don't know
Especially
what they're
compared to
setting
the
up with
latter
Damien
half.
Darkblood, though. I got no idea what they're setting up with him because
Yeah.
they left him with more stuff, and I was like, what
I
the
thought
fuck?
he was going to be like, I thought there was going to be something with
He's nothing
him
in
and
the comics. Like,
well, I thought him and Hell and all that stuff that they set up, like have them fight the Viltrumites, help fight the Viltrumites, and they
that
just
would have been interesting, actually, huh?
because I
Yeah,
thought
no,
the
I
first
didn't even-
half of the season, to be honest, I thought the first half of the season was going to be like we're getting allies from Earth.
Which,
you know,
to be fair, that was the Nolan episode. But honestly, that
Yeah.
episode could have even been like a longer
yeah,
because there's
But
more. There's
Mark
more
has some
stuff
friends
in the
and he's
comics.
Mark has some friends and he's so scared to use them. Like he has Hell. They literally said they're like, we owe you and we want to protect Earth also because we live here. And I know Eve had the pregnancy thing, so she couldn't. But then when he comes back and she has her powers again, like Mark seems to not even consider that she could help now that she has her powers again.
To be fair, she almost died to Conquest. Like I think that weighs on him so
did Mark and
heavily.
Oliver.
Yeah, but
and
I think it's a little bit different when like she did die. Like that's
I
the
feel
thing.
like-
Oliver like straight up like almost got stretched by Conquest, but like she straight up did die.
Sure, but I feel like if
It's not logical by any
You know,
means, by the way.
Nolan and the Coalition, everyone knew her and understood what her powers were, like why is she not?
I don't think Nolan does.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think. I think he knows of her.
Yeah, no, because he wasn't there for the Conquest fight. He didn't know. He
Yeah.
literally didn't know that Mark fought Conquest.
Which is such a weird thing because she, again, I know power scaling is silly
Yeah.
but again, this show is a little bit like power scaling kind of matters in this show.
Yeah, no. 100%.
And she kind of is, to me, feels at the same. She feels more powerful than Tech Jacket.
Yeah,
I don't understand why Tech Jacket was there. Like,
Yeah, in the comics,
she didn't do
there's-
anything that like Robot couldn't do.
So in the comics, there's like a series, which is why Robert Kirkman included Tech Jacket. So you probably missed it, but in the like Invincible War, she killed like a couple of Invincible.
Oh yeah, I
variants.
didn't even see that.
Yeah, no, because it happened so quickly. Because people they didn't draw attention to it. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like they cut away to different heroes fighting the Invincibles, and people were like, "Okay, cool."
Space Racer also feel like, sure, maybe Eve isn't like, you know, the level of Mark, but she feels, to me at least, like she could hold her. She's
she definitely could.
the same
The
or
thing is,
better
she
than
fought
Oliver.
Conquest, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, she fought like one of if not the second strongest
Yeah.
Viltrumite. Like it's like the difference. It's like being like you are a really great fighter in the U.S. Let's throw you into the Olympics.
Oliver is literally there because of nepotism. Everything Oliver does, she can do better. Like that's literally why he's there.
Oliver, we need to not fight him alone. Proceed to immediately.
I know they
Black
stopped and
Hole
told him
wants
and he
your
did it
suck
anyway.
back, and he's like, you're not one of us. Backhands him.
So like
It's so brutal.
it's
He never regrows that arm, by the way. Like that arm's gone permanently.
that's something there's
Like in the comics, he has a robot arm from then
yeah,
on.
and my dad was complaining about it where Mark and then Nolan both like like is just the only way to kill a Viltrumite just a total decapitation? Because at this point,
Basically, that's why they have the execution is literally a decapitation by like a hand. You remember when like
yeah,
Nolan was going to his decapitation? I mean, his execution, like they were literally going to cut off his head. Like that's the only way to do it.
yeah, it's such a it does feel a little sudden for that to be not ever said and just finding out in season 4. Like we know that they're tough and we know that they can heal and stuff, but every time before it's been like, oh, you had
Well, I
immediately to a hospital and months in bed and all that stuff.
I think it's
And
the thing
now,
though that like this season is highlighting their weaknesses. That's the
yeah,
thing though. Also, they gotta learn the hand move,
yeah, the
man.
karate chop
They
thing.
gotta they gotta learn.
Yeah,
Mark, you gotta start using it, bro. It's really the most deadly move in the
yeah,
Viltrum Empire. It's so effective. That shit kills generations at this
yeah.
point.
That's like they're just, that's their weakness. Everyone
He only does
in
that
the
move.
universe needs to just learn to do a karate. They're not even doing it like at Viltrumite power. It's just the hand motion.
Yeah, no, it really
That's
is.
what it
It's
is.
so funny.
Like a normal human could do that and
And
kill a
you know what's
Viltrumite.
crazy? The evil Invincible did do that because remember when he had that execution line of like people and Angstrom teleported to like him being like executed, and
Oh
and
yeah,
Invincible was just doing this, just karate chopping all their heads off, and it's like, damn, even the evil Invincible picked it up, but not you,
yeah.
Mark.
It's like you got to go to Viltrumite school for
You
that.
got to go to Viltrumite school, bro.
It's a
That shit
special technique.
seeing Nolan get his shit rocked
Oh my
by his
God.
parents, bro, was crazy.
The one with like the kids like beating each other to death and stuff.
Oh, that shit was fucked.
Like,
Also,
dude,
yeah.
How I'm surprised that there's 50 of them left. Like
Yeah, like
they
already at
they
that point they already diminished their population, and it's like putting the
yeah.
final fucking nail in the coffin with the scourge virus.
Yeah. I think it was a very interesting point for episode 8 to have pretty much no real fights.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely love it, and anyone who doesn't fucking enjoy it, y'all are just in it for the impact frames and fucking have no media literacy, straight
Well,
up.
but also like the
'Cause,
same
like,
kind of people who complain that stuff like WandaVision just turned into a big boss battle at the end,
yeah,
like they're not doing that. The last episode of the season is character
it's
development
incredibly
and
satisfying
plot
too,
development.
because like to be honest, Mark learned his lesson this season. Like even if you want to say the hell thing, like that kind of sets him up for this in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Where like Mark of season 2 even wouldn't have agreed to it. Like he literally didn't. Anissa
No.
came to him and was like, yield, and he was like, no. And it's like Mark of season 2 would have just been like, no, and
Yeah.
he would have gotten everyone killed. Which is it the right thing? No one knows. That's the thing. It's kind of tough. Now, the thing that is going to be really interesting in the comics, and so I'll tell you this because they're going to reveal it like episode 1 of the next season, but no one's going to know that the Viltrumites are here. He's not going to tell anyone, which is fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked, Like it's like one of those things where it's like an axe over everyone's head, and Cecil's gonna be like, where are the Viltrumites? Like they're gonna come and attack Earth, and meanwhile
Yeah.
they're actually. Did you see the
It's-
memes though about Thrag?
Yeah, I've seen so many. Like everyone's. I don't know if you've seen, but I've seen a bunch of people now just calling him Freddie Mercury.
Sorry, not Thrag.
Or-
General whatever the fuck his name is.
I-
Craig. Yeah, the guy with the
Robot
eye
eye guy?
patch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like me when I find out when a Viltrumite finds out there's multiple reds and motorcycles and women.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. Like just based on her outfit, Anissa just looks like she's working like a desk job, like an office job, which is so funny to me too. That
It's
like
so
after all
funny.
that, she's just like, yeah.
In the
All right.
comics, it's way more lewd of a like. It's obviously her being catcalled, and it's not great.
Yeah.
But next season will be interesting. Her character gets she's gonna be someone. I will not say what, but it is not great or bad.
I think I maybe know.
It is
but-
gonna be one of those things where it's like, if it literally depends on how they handle this, because this shit could be how they handle her character could be the shit that like ruins the entire show for some people.
Yeah, and how they handle. See, they set up, and it's really interesting what they set up with the Viltrumites, how it played out, doing that as the season finale and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And next season, it's gonna be weird because it does feel like they need to go to I'm forgetting their name, the other dimension.
The Flaxen dimension.
The Flax. Yeah, they need to do stuff with them. There's a lot of story there,
But they
but
can't
then
leave Earth
also,
undefended.
yeah, you can't leave Earth, and also plot wise, they set up the Viltrumites so much. This is now like the
But here's the
second
thing
season in a
also.
row where they're the main
But
thing.
here's also the thing. He said, "We will not help you. We will not hurt you."
Yeah,
Which is a very, very important. Like Thrag is very much a man of his word. Which I will say,
yeah.
Thrag in the comics is way more just like headstrong. He's not like a like in the show. He's
He's not
way
smart.
more. No, like genuinely, yeah, he's not. In the show, he's so much more intelligent. Like he's like him stopping himself from like killing Mark and stuff like that. They give it more room to breathe, where it's like you can tell that he's thinking
Yeah.
rather than just being like he's just a fucking steroid monster.
Yeah.
Which he isn't that strong in the fucking comics. Like, he don't get me wrong, he's very strong, but like not impact level devil frames, like fucking.
Yeah. That was awesome. I gotta say, the like one frame of like his skull or whatever, and that was the coolest.
Oh
thing
yeah, how
ever.
did you react to Nolan getting his fucking stomach punched? I forgot about it in the comics and thought he died right there. I thought they were just cutting to him.
I mean,
dying.
I thought he died right there, and I thought that would have been a really good thing for his arc to be like that's he died trying to save her. I thought that.
I also was like, man, that would be really good.
Yeah,
story-wise.
And then it's just all up to Mark and to figure it out, which would have been good. I don't think it's like completely ruined with Nolan alive, but I totally thought he was dead. Like I thought that was gonna be the.
I thought they like completely skipped like his future stuff and was like, "Fuck it, we're killing him now." And I was like, I guess that's a way to fix the problem with his wife is just to kill him off here. I was like, because it'd been like I read the comic after the first season came out. Like I read it immediately after the first season, binged through it all, and so like it's been a while now at this point since I read it. To be fair, also I'm gonna say this: Battle Beast got no respect in the show, man. No respect. Got done fucking dirty in the show, bro. Him in the comics, fucking comics, bro. Is
I will say
some of the most insane shit.
As someone who's not read the comics, he seemed pretty cool. I would have liked more of him, but he seemed.
He got fucking like he got his jetpack thrown off immediately and got thrown into space, and I was like, no, he's so much cooler than this.
Like, I have a question. What is the deal with Space Racer? Is he important in the comics?
So no, Space Racer, the whole thing with his gun, basically.
But like, is there a reason they're keeping him alive? Because he's totally seems like the token character with no character development. He shows up for a little bit. And he has no powers.
He's just he's supposed to be another like weakness that the Viltrumites have. That's basically it.
Yeah. Well, but he just seems like totally like in.
He's very much not a character in the comics.
The big fight in episode 7, like it feels like that.
I will say though,
kill him, establish stakes, be like he killed a couple of Viltrumites, but then he's dead.
Yeah, he doesn't die in the Viltrumite War. So like in the comics either. So like yeah. Honestly, yeah, they should have killed him. Honestly,
like he's such a nothing character. Where I'm like, it would have been almost better if like there's this character who's kind of cool.
You know what was also better? Sorry, I was going to say another thing that was improved from the comic: the fact that like they gave Oliver Nolan like actual like screen time. In the comics, they just flash forward.
Yeah.
Also, Oliver has no problems with Nolan.
Do they do a lot of flash forwards in?
Yeah, it's all from Mark's perspective. So if Mark isn't there, or if Mark like dies, like a lot of stuff just like is just fast forwarded.
Yeah.
Like unless it's like specifically, it's usually like Mark and then maybe the occasional Nolan scene. Like a lot of like 95% of the story is just following Mark most of the time. So a lot of it's from his perspective. And so like. Oliver never has a problem with Nolan because that's a show added thing about like with the scene about like, oh, his wife he called my mom a steak. A steak? Am I a steak? Yes.
You keep making steaks.
Cecil! Cecil! I just love all the brain rot memes. They're really funny.
I know we're gonna get so much more in a couple months once everyone like. The same thing that happened last year. Once everyone settles in, it's like, oh, we're not getting anything for a year.
Yeah. I do like that it's a yearly release now. That's at least nice, though. It keeps it. It's better than how long it fucking took between season 1 and season 2.
It would be like for all my complaining before, at least it's a year. At
Yeah.
least it's like a normal show every
If it
year.
took 4 years in between each season, I'd
And this
just
is what we got. We
yeah.
got 8 episodes with like
I mean,
mid
that's why a lot of people
animation
were
at
pissed
best.
about season two. People were
Yeah.
absolutely livid about season two, was because it's like we waited 4 years, and then
And
people
then
were like, "Really?"
in the mid season break, and then the
Yeah, no,
like
it was
this
so. Yeah,
do it. Come out with the 8 episodes. If that's all you're gonna do, just have them come out and go back to work for the next year. Like
so I'm curious. What did you think of the Conquest fight? What do you
it,
think about him almost slam dunking Oliver?
that I gotta say that was so funny. The
That
like
jump
him
scared the
just like
fuck out of
showing
me.
up behind him. That was so
Mario,
like
no shindiru,
right.
no knee gets fucking
That's
decapitated. Also,
yeah. That's one
I
of
don't
those
think you
things.
realized he had the hand
I
ready for the for the
Yeah, I
karate
haven't
chop.
seen how many. I haven't seen many memes of that, and I'm kind of surprised because that's such a like out of context. That's such a funny like
It's
just showing up behind him.
it's definitely gonna be a reaction image at some point.
Yeah, that it was a good fight. Every time Conquest shows up, he raises the animation budget.
He does. He does. Too bad he. Oh, also, I love the fucking fake out. Oh my god, that shit was
Oh my god,
so
yeah, that was
funny.
so good.
That shit even had me like as a like a comic reader being like, wait, no, they're not gonna bring it
Yeah.
back. And it was just panning out. It's like, you fucking got me. God damn it.
Yeah, they knew.
They 100% knew what they were doing. It was great though. It was great. Like that is a great way to subvert expectations. Being like I got scared. I got scared shitless. I was like, wait, no, bro, no.
I know, and then especially like in the later fights and stuff, Conquest being there would be like that's unwinnable. That's just
Yeah, no. If it was
just
Conquest,
Conquest
and
and
Thrag, yeah, no, you're cooked.
they couldn't even scratch Thrag. With
I-
Conquest there, they wouldn't even get like in the area.
Conquest would just be like, can I let loose? And Thrag would be like, yeah, and he'll be like,
Yeah.
cool, perfect. And this time he wouldn't play with his food. He would just be like, fuck it, I gotta kill everyone here. I will say in the comics they do explain better how Mark beats him a tad, which like so in the comics
Is there a trick to it?
So yeah, so the moment between Viltrumites entering an atmosphere, they have to exhale all the air they have in their lungs to establish their lungs into the atmosphere. It's like a major plot point that like, which is why Viltrumites like sometimes jump from like planet to planet because they need an atmosphere to at least breathe. But the in between, they have to exhale all their air. And so what Mark did was he grabbed Conquest right as after he exhaled all his air and stopped him from getting any air to his brain.
Okay.
So that's why it wasn't just him crushing Conquest's throat. It was him like Conquest didn't have any air. And so like in the comics, literally in any other scenario, Mark would have lost. It wasn't like Mark was as strong as Conquest. It was Mark caught him in the split second between breaths. And because of that little mistake, he was able to kill him. Which I think is in the comics, they explain it way better, which I think works for like power scaling reasons, being like, oh, he didn't just brute force Conquest.
And that's a medium thing where it's a lot harder to do it in a show. You can't just do a little text bubble or whatever. You have to
it is a lot harder.
Then write a scene where someone explains it, or like have a moment where Mark goes, I gotta catch him mid, and that would be tough. I do wish that they would have tried something, because that makes that whole thing so much better knowing that now.
Well, they could have. The thing is that they could have done it with Oliver being like, hey, how do we, like, Oliver literally asked, like, how do we breathe in space? Like, explain it right there. They didn't. They just said,
that was a good bit. That was a good bit. Him doing
we don't.
That's the neat part.
That's the neat part. We don't. But like, that's the thing is like, you're supposed to, like, that would have been the perfect opportunity to be like, yeah. So, and when you get to a planet, just be aware to expel all your air, or else your lungs will literally be crushed. Because it's the reason why is because that change of air pressure. Like their lungs would literally pop like balloons, regardless of how strong they are.
Yeah,
which probably wouldn't even kill them, but it would fucking suck.
Yeah, it would knock them out for 3 months. Or something.
It would blow. But yeah, so that's how he beat Conquest. Which I think in the comics they explain a little bit better. But regardless, the fight was fucking sick. Like in the comics, it's a very like much like shorter fight. This felt like more drawn out. Plus, oh my god, the one scene was fucking, oh god, that shit
it's so hard.
Visceral.
Because that and the last episode where Mark keeps having his like
PTSD
moments of people dying, I keep being tempted to be like, they didn't need to do all that. It doesn't need to be that long, or they don't need to show it. But
they need to
doing
show
it,
the conquest. They need to show the
yeah,
consequences of like
they
they need
like
to show that like there's a
it
difference
doesn't
between
hit as hard.
really. I think it
If
hits.
they don't, I mean, I'm
Oh yeah,
agreeing with you. If they don't show it, it doesn't hit as hard.
yeah. No, because the thing is, seeing some of our favorite characters literally get mutilated hurts so much more than seeing like an enemy get killed. Like
Yeah,
we see another Viltrumite get stabbed or like shot with by like space razor, and we're like, yeah. And then we see Debbie's head get ripped off by Thrag, and we're like, what the
yeah.
fuck? Like we all like collectively go like, what the hell? Like it shows like the
And also fucking with us where he's actually there at the end is
yeah,
without setting that up, without making every
it's so much
scene
better.
so long, then like if every scene is like Thrag shows up and he holds someone up and then it cuts and he's gone and it's like that's a 2 second scene. You have 2 seconds of Thrag showing up for real before you go, oh, okay, he's really there.
By
But
the way, that is done so much better than in the comics. In the comics, straight up, as soon as Nolan, Mark, and Tech Jacket get to Earth, Thrag shows up immediately. And Mark doesn't make the decision by himself. Nolan is the one that convinces him, being like, hey, if you don't, people are going to die. And I think it's so much better. It's just such stronger writing to have Mark come to that decision because
yeah.
it shows just how much agency he has, you know?
And they could do something interesting next season where maybe Mark tells Nolan and maybe Nolan disagrees.
Yeah. It could
Maybe
be genuinely super interesting.
Brand new, changed, fresh Nolan is like, no, we can't be doing that. We can't just let them stay here.
Also, the stuff they're setting up with Alan, man.
Is that in the comics?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole arc. It's all I'm saying is war crime central.
Oh boy, yeah.
We're about to commit some war crimes, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny with like Alan suddenly becoming important, and you got to remember it's like
it's Seth Rogen.
So Seth Rogen's the president of the universe now, right?
Yeah, basically. It's really weird. It's one of the few roles where I think like genuinely Seth Rogen actually like melds into the role really well. Like I don't hear Seth Rogen when I'm like watching the show, weirdly enough.
It's one of those times where you go like, oh yeah, he actually has acting skill.
Yeah, no, literally.
He actually can act.
Like he's not just a funny voice.
Like he's done so many like funny shows and movies that you're like, well, he's not one of those that like all he can do are
it's funny moments. Yeah. No, there's and I think next season you'll find, maybe not even next season, maybe the season after that, you'll find he's gonna have to step the fuck up. Like he's going to, like from now on, Alan is way more serious in the comics. Like Alan goes from like, oh, I'm a funny warrior to like, so how about genocide?
So that just reminded me with Alan. So they explain
the Scourge
Alan has like telepathic abilities.
Oh yes,
so that's how you talk in space. And now we're just kind of doing it.
Everyone
did they just drop that?
So there was a very, very quick scene in the show because I also was like, what the fuck? Why can't everyone talk?
They said something about translators.
There is
that what it is?
All of them have a chip that allows them to telepathically talk.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, they said something about
I think
like
is something that they like. They probably said it in the comics. To be honest, I probably forgot because it's such a minor detail. But like,
yeah,
I literally was like, "What the like? Why is everyone able to talk? Like even Thrag's able to?" I was so confused, and then I literally looked it up, and literally there's a scene where it's like, "Please come to the med bay to install your like communication module." And it was like, I heard oh, that. Okay.
I heard that, but without any explanation, I was like, oh, it's probably like a translator or something. It's like different.
I mean, that's why Alan was able to talk. It isn't because he's Unopen. It's because he has the chip.
Well, I thought he had like psychic powers or some shit.
No, it's just the chip. Oh. Like he says, like when he first meets Mark, he's like, why are you able to talk? He's like, oh, I have an implant.
Yeah. To be honest, I was just rolling with it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I was just like, I was wondering, but I was just like,
if they didn't acknowledge it, like I was just gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like they gotta have like conversations in space.
It's not the type of show where every single thing like that needs to be answered.
The reason why we care about power scaling is because the show makes that important. Versus like if they missed the detail about like communicators in space, I'd just be like, whatever, it's not important for the story.
Yeah, it's not like we were talking about off camera, we were talking about The Boys going on. We'll have a review for that, but we're talking about The Boys, and that's one where power scaling doesn't matter quite as much because they're very fast and loose with that sort of thing.
Yeah, like.
But this is like that's the plot of the show.
Yeah, it literally is the plot of the show. Is like how strong can Mark get? How is he? But yeah, I think the season really works. What are your rankings of the seasons?
Of all the seasons?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting question. I can tell you mine if you want first.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Remember vibes from the seasons. I do not remember specific. I haven't rewatched it, so like season 1, I do not remember the episode breakdown at all. I just remember like the overall thing.
I still think season one's the strongest.
Season 1 was really strong.
I think season one was the strongest because they knew they had to get it right. They knew they couldn't, and they knew they couldn't fuck around with season one. They knew they had to land everything, and I think the thing that really made season one so strong was the subplot of Nolan, because that's not in the comics. That's not in the comics. Like,
really? Because that's like what makes that season.
yeah, no, that's not in the comics at all. Like you really don't get that. You get like the last page reveal of like him killing the Guardians of the Globes. I think in like episode, it's definitely not the first issue. It's like later on, and then you get the reveal of him talking to Mark in like issue like 6 or 7. Like it's so fast. Like it happens way too fast because Robert Kirkman was told like, "Hey, you need to like do something or people are not going to buy this comic." And so he was like, "Fine, I'll rush the reveal." Because like originally it was mostly just a generic like superhero like teenage coming of age story, which is fine, don't get me wrong, but like at the time he was like, I need to sell comics so that the stories keeps going. And then in the show he finally had the space to be like, okay, now I can take the beats necessary, I can build up this tension with Nolan that like a lot of people like, you don't even see the fight against the Guardians,
and a lot of times
he just kills them and no diffs them in the comics. Like he doesn't take an ounce of damage. They show up to the base and Nolan's not even there.
Yeah.
Like it's just not as good.
And with comics in general, sometimes you kind of got to make shitty decisions just because you got to make your monthly, weekly, bi-monthly, whatever deadline. And you also don't know where the story is with some I don't know what was in his mind with Invincible was just like, he didn't have an ending planned when he set out to make it, right? He was just making a new regular comic, right? Or was he?
Sorry, repeat that last question again.
Like, you know how some comics are like, they're like, this is going to be a 20 issue comic.
I don't know.
We know what the beginning and end is going to be.
I got no idea. I have to think that he expected it to be long, but probably not as long as it went. Probably definitely not like 75 issues long.
Yeah. And a lot of comics, like, and people have this idea that like comics aren't books in the way that like you have a beginning, middle, and end planned out before you like set out and write it. Sometimes it's like a TV show where you are kind of making it up as you go along. So I think this is a great, he's lucky to have this opportunity to go back in stuff that maybe doesn't make sense in the comic, and now he can rework it.
Yeah, I think Walking Dead also taught him a shit ton because he fucking milked the fuck out of it and ruined it. I think it made him realize like, because like in the comics also there's a shit ton of Invincible spinoffs and it fucking like most of them suck.
Yeah.
Like funnily enough, the best one is probably Tech Jacket. Okay, the funny thing about Tech Jacket in the comics at least is that he's like a weak as fuck guy, but the thing is that like all the people that wear those like tech jackets, like that's like a battle suit that like the species wears. They're so much weaker than an average human, but like by a weak human wearing it, they're already stronger than anyone else who wears another tech jacket, which is so funny. So if a Viltrumite wore a tech jacket, basically what I'm saying is they would kill the universe.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to see. I remember he left The Walking Dead at some point, kind of early on, like not like first season, but like I don't know, 5 or 6 years or something. Like he just, like season 6 or 7, he just left. So I think that probably also showed him like not just like the ways that you can kind of mess up going back and all that stuff, but also maybe the ways that some people the studios will try and milk it and
I can't wait
balancing
for
like the
Electric
control.
Boogaloo.
Yeah, like it's got to be so tough to navigate because you really have to make that decision of like what parts of the story matter to you, like what parts are you going to fight for, and because you do have to give them a little bit so that they can, when you ask for something, they can give you something. And it's got to be such a tough choice to be like,
I mean, he's got enough for like another like 3 seasons, I would say max.
Yeah.
Personally, I would say, because we're about like through 3/4 of the second compendium, so like we still got like a little under half the story, which to be fair, some of the later arcs honestly could be cut. They're not as good.
Yeah.
But we will get to those when we get to those. Anyway, but yeah, so I think season 2 for me is the weakest. I think it goes season 2 weakest, just because of like, it's not just the vibes of it, it's just the story doesn't move to a pace that you would want after season 1, after how good season 1 was. It was like, okay, so season 2, then it goes season 4, season 3, and then season 1. I think season 3 is really good, but I think that like season 1, just the thing that sells season 1 is that subplot of Nolan, because that's always in the back of your head, even during like the average Mark stuff. Like, that's just ticking in the back of your head, so you're constantly worried. Versus like, you see the Mark stuff now and you're like, okay, I'm not as worried because there's no like fucking like thing about to decapitate Mark.
That's sort of like with season 5, they set themselves up in such a good position.
Yeah.
Where they can just, the Viltrumites can take a backseat for the next season, and they'll still be
an anxiety
in the back of your mind, the same way as Omni-Man, where it's like they don't even have to do anything or show up.
And they said they won't.
They
but
literally,
like, that's even more terrifying.
Yeah, but they don't have to show up on screen at all. But just talking about them,
what would
and
be the
knowing
breaking point for them?
Yeah,
I think that's also another unique thing where it's like, what is the breaking point of like, if the human species is about to get fucking extincted, will they actually interfere, or will they just still not give a shit?
Yeah, will they just decide like,
fuck it, we'll migrate all the babies?
Yeah. We'll find another planet that, I mean, that's sort of in season 1.
That's the whole problem, is that they can't, this is like the 1 in a million shot.
Sure.
Unless they want to fuck mantises.
The time scale that they're on, and that they're so almost like a death cult at this point. They have no planet. There's, what'd they say, 37
There's 36.
36?
36
I don't know if that's
Viltrumites.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone did an actual count of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
someone did an actual count, and then Thrag said it during the thing.
Yeah,
it was really funny.
I was like, is he counting? Is Thrag probably is counting Nolan and Mark, even though?
Oh, he's not counting. He's not counting Mark.
No.
No.
Oh, I thought he was, because
he
seems.
He's a pure. So what? It's pure-blooded Viltrumite. So Mark isn't pure-blooded, technically. He's don't get me wrong, he's basically pure-blooded, but like he's not technically.
Because I know Thrag definitely does not consider Oliver.
I know that correction is because someone did an actually to Alan when he said 40. They were like, actually, Alan, it's 36. And it was like a really funny TikTok video where I was like, okay, man, calm down there. I actually counted all the Viltrumites. There's actually 36 of them still left. I was like, bro, fans try not to fucking stick a broomstick up their ass challenge.
Like, what? Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the next couple seasons. I will still say this is one of the better. You know what's also another thing that I think, so the thing with like people, so this is something that I thought about that I think is, and we're approaching the 1 hour mark, so I'm sorry already, but this is my last point.
I think we have a little bit of, we were talking about other shit for a little bit, but whatever.
I think the reason why the animation isn't as great is because of the voice actors. A lot of them are like famous names, but I think there's also a purpose to it in the sense that it is supposed to bring in as many people as possible. I think this is like the thing where like people, this is basically them being like, animation isn't for kids. Here's our best showcase of proving that to the American culture, basically. Because like,
it's
for a lot of like Americans, like Attack on Titan, for example, was like a huge demonstration of that, where it was like, here's a really brutal like anime that shows you like just how not for kids anime can be. And this, in my opinion, is like being like, here's for the average American, this is how bad it can get, or not bad, but like we can tell stories in animation that are not just for kids.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a double-edged sword.
Ideally, I'd want more episodes and better animation
and better voice actors
and better voice actors.
I still don't like once a year too much.
Yeah, and better voice actors, and it comes out once a year, and better writing, and better, like, realistically, I know not everything But I do, to me at least, I'm starting to feel a little bit both the combination of the animation. It's not bad, but sometimes you look at it and you're like, wow, they really just dragged a JPEG across the screen there, you know?
And then made it disappear. Yeah.
And also there being 8 episodes with like looking at when the episode came out, and I was like, oh, how many? It was a couple weeks ago. I was like, how many episodes are left? Okay, 8. Like, that's it. I can fit all of them in a little box on my screen.
Yeah.
I could see all 8 episodes, the thumbnails of all of them, and that's it. And it's like,
Yeah. But
it's
I
not
think
horrible, but
yeah, I think my point is just like it's a way to basically make all the Americans are like, I'm not gonna watch anime.
yeah,
Being like, here, shut the fuck up. Here's some
it's
animation that's good, and maybe hopefully you will respect it more in the future.
yeah. That's why I'm hoping maybe in the future we're on season 4, we're going to be on season 5. It's one of their most popular shows on Amazon. Hopefully then, you know, we've moved past that transition phase, and even if it's not like, oh my god, now we're in god tier animation and 30 episodes a season, like,
I want more comic books to get animated adaptations. Like,
yeah,
comic
like,
books are so perfect for that. Like,
yeah,
genuinely, like it's a thing that like a lot of people like. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing comic books being adapted into like movies and shows. Like, it's great. It's an easier art form to adapt than books, to be fair,
mhm.
because you have the shot compositions, you have stuff like that already built.
Yeah, it's storyboarded
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
basically, yeah, it literally is a storyboard for you. But like with an animated show, you're just taking it from the page and you're translating it in the best way possible while adding some flavor and flair to it. Like, for example, Invincible, like, as much as we like said like the animation isn't as great as it could be, the story's still way better
Yeah,
than in the comics. Like,
yeah. And
it's improved on everything.
also, no one get me wrong, I'm not saying the animation is bad.
Yeah.
There's moments where it's bad. There's moments where it's just like, all right, this is so obviously you're cutting corners here.
Yeah, it's not consistent. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They save their budget for specific episodes, and it's fine for some episodes, but definitely some others it's like, come on.
Yeah, they could be slicker, they could be better with it, they could be whatever. It's not bad. It's still a great show overall. And I like, even in like the filler episodes, you're still like on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. Well, good season, Invincible. I'm gonna give this season of Invincible 4 out of 5 Nolans being punched through by Thrag.
Um yeah, 4 out of 5 eating weird bug chip things.
Anyway, that's enough of this show. Next, we'll be back with The Boys and then Daredevil. I mean, it's a pretty stacked month.
Yeah, and then I haven't even been looking at movie releases.
Bro, we got some stuff lined up for this summer, man. We'll see you guys next time. Thrag, kill me now.